Let's go now from the SEC to the Big Ten. Illinois, there's been so much hype about Illinois this summer and into this fall, and everyone's saying Illinois could be this year's Indiana. Well, I think it turns out that Indiana is probably this year's Indiana. If I told you that Indiana would have overwhelmed Illinois, you may have not believed me, but that was exactly the case. First win over a top 10 opponent in 5 years for Indiana. And they did it mostly lopsided. 63-10. That's the final score from Bloomington. Indiana put it to Illinois. Fernando Mendoza threw 5 touchdown passes. He was 21 of 23, only missed 2 throws all night, 267 yards, became the first ever Hoosier with multiple games of 5 or more touchdown passes in just 3 quarters. This guy is electric. Curt Cignetti's offense is perfect for Fernando Mendoza, and he was dealing. He completed his final 17 passes as Indiana extended its home record win streak to 12, dating back to the start of the Curt Cignetti era, 4-0. They're 1-0 in the Big Ten now. I think a lot of people with the cupcake schedule they played in the first couple weeks maybe didn't expect this out of the Hoosiers, but that's a team I've been high on since they competed in these close games last year when everybody was shocked by the resurgence of Hoosier football. But I think under Mendoza and the way that he was able to deal this ball to his receivers and just score points, it was nasty. And for the Fighting Illini, the offense just struggled. Quarterback Luke Altmeyer under pressure all night. Illinois allowed 5 sacks and only rushed for 3 yards in the first half. It was an insurmountable comeback to make. 35-10, they were down at one point. Indiana sealed the win, 2 touchdown drives in the second half to start. And in my opinion, it's the worst loss of Illinois' coach's tenure, and the worst for the Illini statistically since its 63-0 rout at home against Iowa in 2018. Yeah, I wouldn't believe Iowa would have scored 63 points either. But Illinois, in my opinion, they're just not as tough as maybe people expected them. They couldn't sustain much on offense. They didn't really get it going. And obviously their defense wasn't able to stop Indiana. So going forward, if a defense can't stop Fernando Mendoza in Indiana, who will they be able to stop? I kind of expect a little bit of a slide here for Illinois, certainly out of the top 25 this week, but maybe over the course of the Big Ten season as well. I think teams like USC, UCLA, Michigan State, there's plenty of teams I think I could name that would give this Illinois program some problems. And I know for the people who are saying Indiana, they don't deserve it, this hype, this level of praise after beating an Illinois team who hadn't entirely proved themselves, but a win over Duke. Indiana, right? They just beat Old Dominion at home. They whooped up on Indiana State. Like, we expect Indiana to win those games, especially with what we know Curt Cignetti to do. But I think if they're a playoff team for the second straight season, they'll have to have earned it. This year they play Oregon and Penn State, both on the road. Huge tests for Indiana. And if IU doesn't win the Big Ten title, it probably needs to at least split with those opponents, I would think, with Oregon and Penn State to win even a debate over another contender as a at-large bid. But next week they hit the road for their first big road test. So I'm excited to see what Indiana can do. I think this year you'll see far more really good 3-loss teams than we have maybe ever in college football, right? Like, now there's 12 spots to take. I think those 3-loss teams, they could still have a chance. So we'll see as the year goes on and as these teams fold, but there's good teams all over the board.